Rabbit Hole Roundup, episode 107, the Fernando Mendoza story, and the Super Bowl is set. So guys, in today's edition of the Rabbit Hole Roundup, I'll be starting off with an interview coming from this year's Heisman winner as well as the college football champion, Fernando Mendoza. And I'm going to talk about how his persistence in the face of being doubted, overlooked, underestimated, ended up paying off big time. He didn't just accept no for an answer, and he kept working on himself until he became undeniable. And once his opportunity came, he seized the moment. Following that, I have a clip coming from Madeleine Byrne, where she talks about how to build positive habits and how to actually make them a lot more fun.
What is fun?
This of course also ties in James Clear's ideas of standardize before you optimize. After that, I'll be sharing a clip coming from MrBeast, where he talks about the whole mess of education system.
Because you rob these kids of their creativity and their passion. That's the real crime.
And then I share my thoughts on how to make it better and how to actually promote real learning. That's a lot more fun and a lot more engaging too, as well as the whole concept of self-motivated learning and how doing that is actually going to get you further than anything that will happen in the classroom alone. After that, I have a clip talking about why keeping your inner child happy by sticking with your passions that you loved as a kid, whether it's Star Wars, sports teams, Legos, or collecting whatever it may be, why keeping those things alive in you makes you cool, and anyone else out there tells you otherwise, I think is lame.
His whole life revolves around Superman and cereal.
And of course, after all that, we have our sports segment where I'll be talking about NFL playoffs, how the Super Bowl is set as of right now, as well as some NBA talk too. So anyways, without further ado, let's dive deeper now. Rabbit hole time, let's go.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jared Weiss. If you guys didn't know, that must mean that you're not subscribed to the channel, so you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts in the video. Follow me on every platform, and if you guys haven't done so already, make sure to check out my book, Fight Through It by Jared Weiss. All links purchased it on my website, which is jaredryanweiss.com. That's JAREDRYANWEISS.com. Buy the book, support me, and make sure to check out all the awesome shirts in there as well. Every shirt has been designed by me, every shirt is made of 100% organic cotton, so any support at all, as I'm always saying, would be very greatly appreciated. So let's dive deeper into this rabbit hole now. So first up in this episode, I want to share a clip coming from Heisman winner and most recently college football champion, Fernando Mendoza. And in this clip, he talks about all he had to overcome to get to where he is now.
I was a two-star recruit coming out of high school. I got declined to walk-on offer to the University of Miami. Full circle moment here, playing in Miami for all the friends and family. I can't thank Coach Nettie enough and Coach Whitmer and Coach Anna for taking a chance on me and just give all the glory to God.
So this is of course the latest example of where you start doesn't have to be where you finish. And I love his whole story. He wasn't heavily recruited out of high school, and he was told he wasn't even good enough to walk on at Miami. And then of course his story got rewritten because he wasn't going to allow anyone to tell him what he was capable of. He leaned into his faith and kept grinding to becoming living proof that rejection isn't a verdict on your potential. And this just so happens to be one of my favorite things to talk about on this channel. I don't care how old or how young you are, but if you're someone who has big goals and big dreams for yourself, don't allow anyone else to put limits on them. Don't allow others to place a ceiling on what's possible for you and your dreams. And even if you got a million other no's, sometimes all it takes is that one yes, and that one person, or in this case that one school who believes in you, and then you ultimately make the most out of that opportunity. So for any of you out there who've ever felt passed over, underestimated, or counted out, this is just the latest example of your reminder that persistence and belief can outlast any doubt and outlast any no's out there. Next up, I want to share a clip coming from Madeleine Byrne, where she talks about how to use your bad habits to form your good ones. Let's watch together.
I'm going to put you onto a piece of advice that absolutely changed the trajectory of my 2025 that I will be taking into 2026. Use your bad habits to form your good habits. Okay, what do I mean by this? One of my bad habits, scrolling. I'm a big scroller. I doom scroll. I kind of justify it because I work in social media, but we all know the line is crossed quite often. A good habit I really wanted to start was walking a lot more. I wanted to be moving. I wanted to go to the gym every single day. I wanted to be somebody that just wanted to go to the gym every day, but that was just not something I craved. So I told myself, okay, go to the gym every day and scroll. Go to the gym, walk on the treadmill for as long as you want and just scroll. to the point where I would be walking on the treadmill for like 80 minutes and I'd be like, oh, I actually have to stop because my legs hurt. But I would keep going. And I started doing this and kind of craving it every day. It became my me time where I'd be like, I don't have to go to the gym and do like crazy HIIT workouts. If I just go and try to get my 10,000 steps, then I can also scroll and like have a good time. And I'm not just saying this, like before I knew it, I became one of those people that was like, oh, I have to go to the gym. It didn't matter what time of day. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I seriously, if I don't go in the morning, like I won't go at all. No, I could go any time of day. I could go at noon, 3, 8 a.m., 7 p.m., anytime. Because like the idea of going to the gym at that point became just as fun as like going to Sephora. I know that sounds crazy, but you have to gamify your life. You have to turn non-fun things into like fun. I saw a Mel Robbins thing or something the other day where they were like, you need to figure out how to make habits, like habits that you want to incorporate. You have to figure out how to make them fun so that you actually want to do them and it doesn't become a chore. Once I became obsessed with like going to the gym and scrolling, it also helped incorporate a new habit, which was I wanted to be someone that reads. I'm not a big reader. Again, I scroll out of preference. But then once I was like in my treadmill movement journey, I started to find these like fun, lighthearted books and I would read them on the treadmill. So I would do like 40 minutes of scrolling and then for, I don't know, like 20 minutes, I'd be like, just like open a book and something about the movement made reading more interesting to me because I think starting anything is like the hardest for me. So if there's one thing you guys are going to do this year, it's you're going to use your bad habits to start your good habits.
So I love this, and like while I was watching this, it actually reminded me of the whole Mel Robbins podcast, like the episode where James Clear went on it. And sure enough, Madeleine mentioned this at the end. So one of the main points from that episode with James was like how he spoke about how it's first important to find a way to make your habits more fun and like ask yourself, how would this look like if it were more fun?
Fun is
Because of course, the more fun that something is, the more likely you're going to stick to it. Whereas on the other hand, like if it's a miserable experience and you don't see any improvements or any results at all, chances are it's only going to be like a short-lived thing. But the other point like that James spoke about, which I think ties in perfectly with everything that like Madeleine was just saying, is to standardize before you optimize. So what does this mean? It means first like find a way to get started, even if it's not perfect. So in this case, scrolling while you're on the treadmill. Maybe the 1000% ideal scenario would be like running sprints without needing any phone anywhere near you. Now of course, me being a perfectionist, I'm someone like who's always trying to find like the optimal way to do everything. But I also understand, and like I think all of us need to understand, what our own pace and like what our own preferences are. As well as like what are the limiting factors to getting us started on this thing. So I totally agree with her that like if it takes you scrolling on your phone to get you like to go to the gym and like do more movement on the treadmill, then like by all means do it. Because of course doing it that way is way better than like not going to the gym at all and just simply scrolling on your couch. Even as a perfectionist, I've discovered that like it's important to also be like gentle with ourselves and like to not be so rigid with everything. It's like, let's just say like for instance, one day I'm out of coconut water.
No! God, please, no! No!
And the only coconut water available like is a non-organic brand. So I could be like, nope, I'm never having that. Or I can be like, well, if I have to have it like just this one time, it's still gonna hydrate me and like it's probably not gonna kill me. I'm sure like a lot of you out there probably have like much worse examples, but like that's just me. That's who I am. But anyways, whatever it takes to get you into the healthy habits, even if like it might not be the ideal way, if it makes doing the thing more fun and like that's what you need to stick with it, only you know best. So like just to reiterate, standardize before you optimize. And then like if and when you're feeling confident, you can then take things to the next level at some point in the future. So like Madeleine, for instance, started with like just the scrolling and now like she's also reading books while she's at the gym and like while she's doing her movement. Next, we have a clip coming from MrBeast on like the mess of education system and like how to actually improve it and make it more fun and like more engaging for the kids.
Education. Why is it that your parents got taught the same way in school that your kids are getting taught? Think of how much everything is advanced. Look at Mark Rober's videos. Look at all this amazing educational content where you learn such complex topics in like 20 minutes and it's really engaging and fun and you retain it. And like, look at what we subject our kids to, just like listening to a teacher read out of a book in the most boring way imaginable. Like, just because that's what our parents did doesn't mean that's what we need to subject ourselves to. It makes no sense to me. I think education should be reformed dramatically. Like, I graduated from school thinking books suck and books are boring and I never read a book. But in reality, they were just giving me shitty books. I don't know. I just think education is just silly. Like if you actually had real courses made through videos and we actually made things more hands-on and we just like actually optimize these things with modern technology, they could probably learn things in way less than 8 hours a day. I mean, you could probably learn more knowledge in like 5 hours a day and give so much freedom back to kids in their youth to do things. School trained me to think I hated learning, but no, I just hated their methods. And so there's just so much more engaging, better ways of going about it.
So I actually fully agree with what he just said. Now I do actually have like a full chapter in my book Fight Through It talking about like the whole messed up education system, as well as like hidden history and like exposing some of the lies out there. And I've done like plenty of videos in the past on why the whole system is like set up this way. But let's remove all that for a second. Even if like we take away all the false information that's being taught, I've discovered that like I learn and retain information so much better from podcasts, YouTube videos, and like books like that I'm actually interested in. And also even from talking to ChatGPT. Learning things this way is a world of a difference from, let's put these kids with tons of energy, tons of creativity, inside of a classroom for 8 hours a day, force them like to learn all the things like only we consider important, and then have them go home and like instead of them playing outside or playing with their friends, let's then give them several more hours of homework to do that night.
Of putting so much pressure on kids, they turn into these stress freaks and caffeine.
You're phony.
And just as like MrBeast said, just because our parents or grandparents learn this way, this shouldn't be like a case of, oh, this is just how it is and this is like the best way to do things, because like it's clearly not.
You can have your grades and your rules and your structure and your ivory towers, and then we'll do things our way.
It's honestly ridiculous like how that whole setup has been so normalized. And keep in mind, like as I always say, this is coming from someone who tried really hard in school and like who did really well in school. So I was not one of those kids like who was too lazy to put in all the work and like put in all the effort. I was definitely not that person. But this is also why I'm like a huge advocate for self-motivated learning. So even if you are in school like and you're forced to go through that whole system right now, don't let your learning stop there. Make sure like to find things and seek out things that you're actually interested in, and become your own teacher. And there's so much information online these days, of course, as all of us know by now, where if you want to know everything there is to know like on a certain subject, it's all out there. Conventional in the classroom learning with textbooks is not the only way to learn anymore. Find podcasts like mine, or follow people who have a ton of knowledge like on a subject that you're interested in, and buy their books, read their posts, listen to their podcast interviews. Doing this makes learning fun, as it should be. And if only the whole system allowed teachers to make learning more fun and like more interactive, and less about just simply teaching to the test, I think the kids would be so much more engaged with all the lessons.
Can I get a little rumble from everybody? Everybody just rumble in your seats right now for me. Just rumble a little bit.
And would actually retain all the information way better too. That's just me, that's just my thoughts, those are my opinions. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Moving right ahead, I have a clip talking about enjoying childish hobbies as an adult, and why you shouldn't feel like you have to give up your passions just because you're older now. Let's watch together.
What really kills the vibe and that I just don't even want to talk to you anymore is the people who, when you show them the things that you like and the things that you enjoy, that normally a kid will like, and they start downplaying it, I just don't even want to talk to you anymore, because they start making fun of you. It's like, oh, you like this stuff? Like, I'm a Star Wars fan, right? I like lightsabers. I like cool Lego stuff. I'm going to get excited about it. I'm going to get excited about movies, right? And people will just downplay you. It's like, you're a 26-year-old man getting excited about this stuff. Like, you need to grow up. And I don't even want to talk to you anymore. We're all kids, okay? I'm telling you right now, we're still kids, except we age. And we're getting wrinkly and we grow hair. So the fact that you want to act like you're this grown adult, you're going to be miserable.
I love this, and I'm so glad like someone out there said it. The whole belief like age, you're getting older, means that like you can't like the same things you did when you were younger, or that now like you have to abandon all your passions is ludicrous.
Alright, who called for ludicrous?
I actually just filmed a video for the Jared and James channel, where I spoke about this concept of the 5 lies that like all of us were told about growing up. And so I think like whether you're into Star Wars or Legos, or super passionate like about your favorite sports teams, I think that holding on to your passions makes you so cool and like an awesome person to be around. And the best part is like if you're interested in it, you're gonna find others out there like who are interested in that same thing too. And especially these days, there's like millions of online communities out there for anything and everything, so like you can always feel less alone when you find these other people. But I think that one of the major keys to life is to always stay a kid at heart. It keeps your energy going, it keeps everything youthful and more fun. And plus, like, it's even better when you're able to turn that passion into your career. For instance, one of my family friends for years collected Hot Wheels cars, and now he has like a huge business with it, and like it's really cool to see. There's also this guy on TikTok who loves doing Aaron Rodgers impressions. Sounds silly at first, of course, but like now he's meeting Aaron Rodgers before playoff games, and he's making a ton of money doing it. One of the worst things like I see these days is this comment out there where someone goes like, "Oh, that's a grown man," when someone like who's not an NBA player is like still working on their skills and working on their game. I'm just like, what? What are we doing here? So just because you're in your 20s, your 30s, or even like your 50s, you can't still work on your craft and like be passionate about getting better at it? That's absolute nonsense. And like that's why I think people age so fast these days too. They give up on what was once fun to them just because they're older now, and like they lose their childlike fun and curiosity about the world, and then like become these hardened adults who are just like miserable people. Well, that's not for me. So if you're passionate about something, even if it's like not cool for people your age, I say keep at it, because who makes the rules anyway? Anyways, time for this week's sports recap, NFL championship round, as well as like NBA news and possibly some other sports talk out there as well. Let's go now. So first up, I was of course wrong on both my picks this weekend in the NFL. I know it's crazy, but not for the wrong reasons. So like let me explain now. Let's start with the first game, Broncos-Patriots, which of course like ended in the whole blizzard. I did loosely pick the Broncos in that game, because of course them going against the Rams like was my initial Super Bowl pick. But I said like the defense would come up big, and of course they did. Unfortunately, this game was defined by like the blizzard in the second half, and also like a costly Sean Payton decision in the first half. Jarrett Stidham like actually got the Broncos off to like a hot start as he threw an early touchdown pass. So they're up 7-0 with a chance to go up 10-0. But instead of taking the 3 points, these days, like just as every other coach does, they decide to go for it on 4th down, and like what ends up happening, those points come back to haunt them. Now, especially in this case, you have a backup quarterback going for you. The weather is starting to get bad, and like you have a shot to go up 10-0 against the Patriots, and that ultimately costs them big time. I'm normally not a fan of like putting a whole game on one play, but in this case, like it's honestly not hyperbole, because in the second half, the weather like basically made the whole offense like unplayable. I mean, honestly, as soon as the Patriots took the lead, they were actually setting up plays like to throw the ball out of bounds, like just like to give the ball like back to their defense, because neither offense like had a shot at doing anything in that game. Drake May threw for 88 yards and got the win. So in this game, it didn't really feel like either team won, just so like the Patriots didn't lose, I guess. But also to their credit, once again, their defense came up big, and they did also like force a key turnover of Stidham, which of course led to the Drake May rushing touchdown. Now also, I'm not exactly sure like what the rules are on that play, or whether or not like the pass was forwards or backwards, or what actually like defines the pass. But anyways, a few plays were the deciding factor in this game, and it's like it was sort of fun because like it felt like Madden whenever you turn the settings up to heavy snow. But it's also like not exactly how you want to send the team to the Super Bowl. And one more thing before we move on, can we please stop with this whole like hot take sports talk? I can't take so many of these pundits seriously, because all they do is rage bait, and like all these guys are supposed to be like former players, or at the very least like a lot of them are. And this is like a huge reason why like I love covering sports my own way. And so I hope like all you guys could appreciate that, how I'm not like one of these rage baiters. So I'm mostly referring to all the people who are saying that like Drake May is the second youngest quarterback to get to the Super Bowl, or that Drake May had to like beat the 3 top defenses in the NFL to get to the Super Bowl. That's most definitely not the narrative like anyone who watches these games is walking away saying. Now what did happen? New England's defense became like the best defense in this playoffs, and knocked off Herbert, Stroud, and Stidham. Drake May, I'm sorry to say, was not the reason like why the Patriots won these games. These aren't games like where you say, oh yup, he's the MVP. No, that was in fact Matthew Stafford, and like he showed that in this playoffs. But hey, nothing against Drake May, like I do think he's very talented, and like he's like a very good player. But let's be honest, in this game your coach was setting up plays for you to throw the ball out of bounds. So this was not, oh my god, like you overcame the best defenses in football, and this is like more impressive than Matthew Stafford. Absolute nonsense. And all you guys who are saying that know it, so stop with all the rage baiting, please. Anyways, on to Matthew Stafford and the Rams-Seahawks game. So this game to me felt like the real Super Bowl. The NFC West was the best division like in all football all season by far, and so like this game, the third meeting of the Rams-Seahawks, felt like the real Super Bowl to me. It almost like reminded me of the movie Never Back Down, with how Ryan and Jake both drop out but then like they end up fighting outside. So while the quote-unquote finals was happening indoors, everyone knew that like the real finals was going on outside. So both quarterbacks in this game were incredible. Matthew Stafford went for 374 yards and 3 touchdown passes, and he was slinging it to Puka, Devontae, Parkinson. He was making like beautiful throw after beautiful throw, and to even put his body on the line and like ran for a first down too, which was like a gutsy play. He looked like the MVP in this game, and it sucks because like I saw a stat the other day that said that like his past 2 games against the Seahawks, he had over 800 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, no picks. And don't forget, like the Seahawks were actually the best defense in all of football, but yet no wins to show for that. He got let down. Now, of course, on the one hand, you can't say like defense and special teams let him down, which has been the theme this season with all special teams in particular. And that is true, like there definitely is like a fair argument there. However, I don't want to take away or minimize how good Sam Darnold was in that game either. Darnold went for 346 and 3 touchdown passes, and was great on third downs too. He was finding the best receiver in football, JSN, who was getting open and like route running to perfection at will. And Darnold also spread the ball out too. Kenneth Walker, of course, looked great as well. But the Rams, of course, also like missed some key tackles. But as much as like I was rooting for the Rams, and like the Rams had been my Super Bowl pick from early on in the season, honestly, and I wanted to see Matthew Stafford win another one, I also love seeing what Sam Darnold did, and like his story is so inspiring. I mean, see like how far he's come from his Jets days and like the whole Sing Ghost story, and being forced like, to bounce around the league, but like he never lost faith in himself. And as a whole, the Seahawks team, I think was just like slightly more complete than the Rams, but this game did turn into a shootout and like both teams were going blow for blow. Now one play that like I have seen talked about a little bit was the Rams' decision to go for it on 4th and 4 in that fourth quarter when they were down by 4. A lot of 4s in that sentence. Now I don't hate on this decision like as much as like I hate on the Sean Payton decision, because the Rams were down by 4, time was running out, there's no guarantee that like, you're going to get the ball back, and you have like the best quarterback in football right now, Matthew Stafford, as your quarterback. Different from the chance to go up 10-0 with your backup. There is an argument to be made that like you take the 3 and then all you need is a field goal on the next drive. But I don't hate this decision. I think like there's definitely a case on both sides though. Now as for my Super Bowl prediction, even though like as I said the NFC Championship game felt like the real Super Bowl, I will say that like the Seahawks are the better team, they're more battle tested, had to come through like a harder division and like a much harder path to the Super Bowl, and I'm picking them to win this game. The Patriots offense hasn't shown me like anything to be confident about in this playoff so far, and while I am picking Seattle, I do have like the small feeling in the back of my head that like the Patriots are gonna win just like to spite me, and make me look bad for picking against them like every game so far this playoffs. Now I get the whole like being overlooked narrative, and also of course all the easy schedule talk, but it's like both of those things are true. So the Seahawks have been like way more battle tested, had to come through the NFC West, and had to face the Rams 3 times. And so I'm going with them, but like, I do think this is going to be like a really good game. I'm rooting for Sam Darnold to finish off like this comeback story. And I do think both defenses are really good. Both are playing at a super high level right now. And neither team like has any glaring holes, which is why like both teams made it this far. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Who are you guys picking in the Super Bowl? Now for some NBA talk. First of all, I'm sad to announce that like Mac McClung won't be returning for a 4-peat in this dunk contest. But honestly, I can't blame him. The NBA treated him like dirt and expects him to perform every year, and he put on an absolute show for 3 straight years, and yet he plays great every time he comes up. He's the best player in the G League by far, and you're telling me there's no roster spots available for him? I mean, the Pacers cut him like a few months ago, and they're currently 11-36 or something like that. How does that make sense? The NBA did Max so wrong, so like they don't deserve him, but I would have loved to see him compete again. I'm not even sure like who is going to compete at this point, but thank you for all that you did for the dunk contest this past 3 years. The NBA doesn't deserve you. Next up, my favorite team, the Los Angeles Lakers. Dare I say, like, have they been building momentum? They're starting to look like the Showtime Lakers a little bit here and there. Now, first off, I'm not the guy who likes to bash players, as you know by now. I don't like to put anyone down. So when it comes to DeAndre Ayton, I think he's a very talented player, but you can't be getting out-rebounded every game. A lot of that, like, I just think comes down to effort. And I don't want to say, like, he's not playing hard, but I do see, like, other former NBA players talking about this too. The one thing that, like, the Lakers lack right now is dominant paint presence, and, like, it should be him. but he hasn't been showing it recently, and I do see JJ Redick getting frustrated. Anyways, LeBron and Luka have been playing great. I've noticed that the past few games, a bit more effort on defense from both of them, and that's making a huge difference with the team. LeBron, when he wants to, even at 41, is still a great defender from what I've seen. He's been making big play after big play. And he spearheaded that Lakers comeback against the Mavs the other night with his defense. I also love what I'm seeing from Marcus Smart, another great defender. Luka, of course, has been putting up insane numbers, going for 30 and 40 points, borderline triple-doubles. And of course, an unsung hero who I love watching too, Rui Hachimura. I'm convinced he's definitely a winning player, so unselfish and willing to do whatever the team needs. And he's super reliable in crunch time to hit big shots. Hopefully the Lakers can do this against better teams, but it's definitely a good start. And one more team who I want to discuss in this episode is the Sacramento Kings. Because that team just doesn't make any sense to me. Every year, that team has so much talent, but I can't do anything with it. I mean, they currently have Russell Westbrook, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Domantas Sabonis, Malik Monk, and yet they're in dead last? How does it make any sense? Also, for some other quick notes, the Knicks have been struggling. Ever since winning the NBA Cup, that team hasn't looked good at all. Is Cat out and Giannis in? It's looking more and more like that every day. And also, the Clippers are 15-3 in their last 18 games. I was in fact super surprised when the team wasn't doing well to start the year. So this wasn't back the team who I expected to see. And they're now playing some great basketball. Anyways, that's your sports recap for the week. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's finish up the video now. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed hearing all the topics. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you guys liked what you heard, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. I will catch you guys next time. Stay positive, stay hustling, stay grinding. Catch you next time. Peace.